It was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Be like a horse with blinkers. Honestly, say I was about to have sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
I'm Renee, I'm 20, and I'm from California in the States.
I'm Richard, I'm from London, I'm 21.
I'm Ellie, I'm from Birmingham in England and I'm 20.
My name is Zenobia, I'm from New York City and I'm 21 years old.
I'm Rohit Moharir, 22, from Houston, Texas.
I think that a lot of the people around me were very ignorant on what Africa really is. Like, I think they just bunched it up and like Africa is one place. Like, it's not doesn't have 50 odd some countries in it. Like, I think a lot of people just were like, oh, is it safe? Is it this and that and the third? And I'm just like, it's a city. Like, Cape Town is a city. It's not just this wild place.
I had to take the train a couple of times, and so that like was delayed a lot. But I mean, I guess that's like a city thing. I don't know.
Yeah, everything I see, like, it just told me like professionalism isn't just like the same across the board here. Like, everything is like delayed. Like, for me, I'm coming from New York City, so everything is like gotta go, have to like you to maximize your time. But literally everything's like, hey, how are you? Like, slow pace. And I'm just like, I don't even understand. Like, sometimes, like, for me, if you don't respond to an email within an hour, it's like a sign of disrespect, like where I'm from. But like here, you can respond back next week and it's just like, okay, that's fine. You have to do it. And I'm just like, I could never. So it's just like learning to respect different cultures and having like not lowering your expectations, but changing your expectations for clients and people that you work with is just, that's what I really learned, like how growing patience here and like, you know, just learning how to adjust to different cultures and different people.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's a lot to do with the people that you work with as well. So like in our office, it's quite chilled out and everything like that. But you know, these people, this is their home, like this is where they live. So you get to like see Cape Town as well from like their perspective.
What do you guys think about like lingo here? Like dodgy, keen.
I love lingo here. I love that there's such a like diverse lingo. Like, oh my gosh, every day, like, I want a lesson Afrikaans and Costa, like, little, like, bad things to say. So when I get back home, I'm just like, nope, I'm not dealing with it. And, like, I like colored Africans and just all this other things. And I'm just like, please, give me more. Like, arm me with terrible things to say. So people around me don't know. I just love it because it's just, like, every person has a different, like, word. Like, you hear it, and it's just like me, I cannot, everything is shame. Shame. Everything is just like every single thing. And my mom, I was on the phone with her. She was just like, what? Like, are you cursing on the phone? I was like, no, I did not say the S word. I said shame. Like, it's a thing. Like, you're not in the club. So it makes me feel like, you know, lingo is like all language, like, it's inclusive.
Well, the accent I like anyway. I think certain things like how often they say as well makes me laugh. And I just like that. And just the like enunciation of certain phrases like puss and shut sounds so much better when they say it. But apart from that, I think the accent is cool. But as you say, I'm in a small office as well. I haven't really noticed any
lingo,
massive slang, or not slang that I wouldn't be able to kind of pick up on or know what they mean and think, oh, I'm gonna use that. You know, it just kind of feel like hear it and think.
I do find a lot like English isn't the major language. Like we've worked in some of the townships where Afrikaans and Costa is one of the, and I suppose that does create a bit of a barrier, but not a barrier that would put you off coming here. I suppose it's still. You can still get like basic communication and everything, and also there's always people around who can speak multiple language that can help you as well. So I think that is good.
True. I've seen so many more people here like smoking.
I don't know whether it's here. It's a kind of there's perhaps a medical lack of awareness. I don't know if there is that difference. I kind of slightly doubt it. The one thing I do notice is similar in the UK. You'll see a homeless person or someone who's very poor, and you get this a lot in the UK, someone who'll receive their benefits and they'll spend a lot of it on cigarettes and stuff like that. And you're kind of thinking, you know, prioritise food, whatever else. And so I've seen that here where, you know, a homeless person or someone begging or someone who obviously doesn't have a lot of money will get either our cigarettes, or when they get money, they'll go and buy a single cigarette of someone.
I just haven't seen like a government
like
ad
PSAs,
that says,
do not
like
smoke. Plastered everywhere.
Like everything. What?
On the bus stops and everything.
Everywhere.
All I see is KFC here. Which is
so random.
Yeah.
Do you think they drink more, or do you think they drink less?
Oh.
I think that's the
it's
thing.
differently.
Like, they drink different drinks.
Like
it's very different from back home. Like for me, like alcohol is like back home is just like party, have good fun, good time. But it's just like general places. They're just like, oh, it's 3:00. Do you want to Savannah? Or like, it's this time. Like, not saying that you can't have a lunch drink, but it's just like, it's not as serious. Like, I feel like the whole abolition thing with America, like, alcohol was such a bad thing and it causes death. It's like, you have to be careful. But it's just like, it's a much more chill mood about, like, you know, alcohol and its effects. Like, you can have a drink with your food and you like, oh, how many, like in America, it's just like, how many drinks did you have? Are you okay to drive? Like here, it's just like, you had a drink with your meal, calm down. Like you'll be fine. Like it's just different. I feel like drinking here is like, it's a lot more natural, I guess to say. Like
I think like everywhere else in the world is drinking in a casual fashion, and especially American students.
Yeah.
You guys just drink to get pissed. Like there's no.
Yeah, it's no like,
What's
oh,
Whereas-
let's drink with lunch. Like we drink to get
I wouldn't even
wasted.
think that if someone said, "Oh, let's go for a pint at 2:00." You wouldn't be like, "What? 2:00?"
What?
Like that would be normal.
Yeah.
So I guess it's different for you guys, and it's funny to hear that from America this seems like stark contrast. If anything, I would say not that they drink less, but I mean England obviously has quite a bad culture for binge drinking, especially with students.
18, whereas you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Until 21.
It does make
But
a
I mean,
difference,
students. I
I'm
mean, I
guessing.
haven't really hung out with that many students from Cape Town. I met some, and they spoke briefly about their kind of drinking culture. I know students around the world kind of drink very differently. I mean, I drink differently to everyone else in terms of it's kind of more party based, but
Though drinking, I always think of the weekend. Like
Yeah.
I never think. It's always like a weekend thing. Like I'm off. Let's get wasted. Like it's not like
I feel like it's
let's
like-
casually drink. Let's
Yeah.
let's talk about our day. Let's go over
Yeah.
this briefing plan.
Like
it's just like
day
what?
ragers,
Yeah.
and parties,
Yeah.
and like stuff like that. I mean, like it's like when you're older, you're like, okay, hey, after work, let's go for a
Right.
beer,
But it's
glass
just
of
like-
wine.
yeah.
Like, I don't know.
that's so weird. It's just
Like
like,
younger people are just drinking so casually.
there's
Yeah.
no, like, just not enjoying it. You just drink to get drunk. It's literally that's it.
But it's
That's
fun.
so weird. And you can do both. You can kind of. That's why I find that's why it's funny.
That's like a sign of like maturity for us. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I've reached
Yeah.
a certain place in my life, so I can have a glass of wine for dinner. Or I can have a margarita with
Yeah.
lunch. Like, it's not like something you do at 20. It's just like,
Yeah.
why are you drinking? Like,
Yeah.
what, are you having a rough day? Like, it's not.
Yeah, like if
not-
you're still doing it at that age, it's like alcohol.
Well, if you have dinner with your family in the evening, and both your parents are having a glass of wine with their supper, and they would offer you one, you'd say, "Oh no, it's fine. I only drink to get fucked." So I don't
No,
want
you
But I
it."
mean,
But like, in your head, you're
in my
thinking,
head, I'd be
I'm not
like,
going out, so I'm not gonna have a glass
Yeah,
of
I'd
wine.
be like,
I
ooh, they
wouldn't-
take me seriously
Yeah,
now. Like,
once I
I
take-
get
yeah.
the glass of wine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
See, I would
know.
say age 14.
Yeah.
I would never drink with my parents just because I know what's going through their mind. Like, if she drinks this and it's smooth to her, she's been drinking a lot. But if she drinks this and she does like a face, okay, she's good. Like, it's just like so many things that like,
Yeah.
no, like I don't want them to. Let's keep that private because I don't want them to know like how much. I don't know. It's just very weird drinking.
Like at
Yeah.
university and stuff, like
Right.
they're like drink offers. You get like £1 drinks and all this. So that's kind of what we're used to back in the UK, like university. Whereas here it is, everyone's a bit more chilled about drinking.
I was definitely surprised to come here and realize that there's only 3 races, white, colored, and black. Because like at home, it's, you know, like you're like African American, you're Indian, you're Chinese, you're Japanese, you're Mexican and stuff, and then to like come here and you're only like 3, like one of 3 things, like weird. And then it's like crazy to think that like the townships are separated by like there's like a colored township or like you know like a majority of them make up that kind of thing. And so
I think it's odd because I don't know that I've experienced a lot of racism, but I don't know a huge amount about it, but I know enough to realise that the fact that it was only, 20
Exactly 20
is exactly 20 years that apartheid was in. Obviously, that's fairly, when you consider the rest of the world, the abolition of slavery, all that kind of stuff, it's nuts to think that's been going on that recently. So although I think it has recovered, and I haven't been to a township, and I have sort of seen, obviously there is a huge wealth divide, and that is broadly by race, and I guess that is a knock-on effect of apartheid and all this kind of stuff. So it's so weird to be in a country which is only 20 years on from something that horrific, that was completely shunned by the rest of the world and was just so out there. So it's kind of interesting from a cultural point of view, I think, but I don't know that I see it in everyday life in terms of hearing any conversations of people being particularly disparaging or racist or anything like that. I think even just use of certain terms like coloured, I think coloured in the UK, for example, I think that would be seen as a racist term in itself. So hearing coloured people proudly talk about themselves as coloured and others refer to them as coloured was a bit of a slight shock, me going, oh. But then realising, like, oh no, that's absolutely fine.
I think race relations is like probably the biggest thing that I'm taking back with me in regards to going back home, like in regards to lessons and learning. Just because I feel like my race is something that I identify with so strongly and back home and so strongly in general, and it makes up so much of who I am. I feel like race relations here, it's a conversation, and I feel like we don't have that conversation back home in the United States. I feel like, we have a black president, everything's good, cool, but I feel like...
He's colored.
Yeah, he's colored. He's not even black, he's colored. But he identifies as black, and that's another thing to bring up. Like, back home, if he identifies himself as a black man, but here they would say he's colored because he's this and that. But it's just like, when you're back home, what you feel you are is what you are. But here is based on, oh no, your parents are this and that, so you're this. It's like the people around you like make you who you are, and I just find that so mind-blowing.
But I don't know if I see that much like tension or anything. I mean, it must be there under the surface, and just the way people interact with each other and how wary they are. But I don't know if I see it. Like, I don't know if I want to see it, or I'm looking for it enough. Or
do you see it when you're back home?
To me?
Yeah. Do you see it like ever?
I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean,
like what you're saying about, like, do you see it at home? Like when you're asking him, like, I don't know, what have you experienced with like being black? Because I mean,
being black in New York,
right?
Yeah.
Well, right now in New York, we're having a lot of problems in regards to race and the police department. I'm not sure if you know about the stop and frisk laws, but or just shootings in New York, the Amadou Diallo, the Sean Bells. There's like women, like there's a report every week, like there's a woman who was 7 months pregnant who got dragged out of her apartment in a headlock by a police officer. She was black, and over a barbecue. She was barbecuing. Like, it's simple things, like the whole Trayvon Martin thing, like it's various things, like this heat and this tension that's building over race that no one's discussing. It's just like, okay, it's happening, like, and it's just like, for me, it's like a different form of discrimination, a different form of segregation, and it's just like, for me, like I said, I just like the fact that there's a discussion. Like, I would kill for a discussion, just to speak to somebody, one of my coworkers who are white or a different race, and be like, this makes me upset. Like, I hate that I have to look at my 17-year-old brother and him look at the news and see other 17-year-old boys getting killed that look just like him, just because he's of his race. Like, I hate that. And it's just like, that conversation is not being had. But I woke into my office today and I asked a question like, oh, why is this not happening? They'll just say, because he's black. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, he's black. Like, it's different. And I just feel like it's something that South Africans and South Africa in general, like, I don't know, maybe it's the whole Mandela and him wanting to have the whole Rainbow Nation, and, you want to talk and we're all equal and we need to talk about it, we need to fix it. But we've never had that. It was just like, okay, slavery's over, cool. Social rights, cool. Yeah. But it's just like, it was no fixing. It's no, like, general, this is a problem. Why do people think this way? What do we do to, rectify the situation? And it's still the same way. So for me, I love the fact that I can get an honest answer when I ask somebody, why is this person treated this way? Or how come this? Oh, apartheid this, and, he's colored now, so he gets certain things. His skin is this color, so, and we don't get that. It's just like, oh, you're going crazy. Segregation's over. We would never do that. But you are doing it. I get judged every day based on my name, based on my skin color, just based on my background. And it's just like, that conversation is not had. It's just like, you're going crazy. Like, that, we would never do that. We haven't done that since the 60s, but you're just not doing it the same way. You're doing it a different way. But here you say, no, we're doing it. We're definitely doing it. That's just like traditional. That's how it was, but we're fixing it.
My dream is to live happy and bring joy to as many people as I can.
My dream is to be consistently happy and influence others to create.
My dream is to hopefully travel, see as much of the world as possible, and be able to tell people my story.
My dream is to travel the world, but have people impact me and have me impact other people.
My dream is to survive the next couple of years, and I can make some life decisions after that.
Yazzie, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.